Stationers' Hall is home to the Worshipful Company of Stationers and Newspaper Makers in the City of London. It is located on Ave Maria Lane near Ludgate Hill. The motto of the company is Verbum Domini Mane in Aeternum, which means the word of God remains forever. As you come up the first flight of stairs, you'll come to an area known as Crush Landing. Why is it called that? Well, because it's really tight for space. Around the walls are portraits of past masters of the company who have served as the Lord Mayor of London. The stained glass window here commemorates 600 years of the company, depicting various items from trades of the guild. As you enter the stockroom, you'll notice oak panelling and carvings. These date back to the 17th century. Around the perimeter of the stockroom, you will see brightly coloured armorial shields belonging to past masters, including His Royal Highness the Duke of York. In the corner of the room, you will see a very ornate-looking grandfather clock, and the stained glass windows both have portraits of Queen Victoria. In the middle of the room, you will see a very impressive-looking fireplace, and above that hangs a picture of Queen Mary I, who was one of the patrons of the Stationers' Company. And to the right of that is a list of stationers who have served as Lord Mayor, of which there have been 28. And the stained glass windows surrounding the room are really, really beautiful. You can see why we were drawn to filming in here. And even the ceilings, you can see really intricate details and beautiful paintings. And now for a little story. The stationers were commissioned by the Crown to produce copies of the Bible, but it was under the stewardship of Robert Barker that this privilege was lost. Now look, we all make the odd typo here or there, but when you omit a word such as not from the Testament, such as the seventh, you could probably imagine the church weren't too happy. It didn't end particularly well for Mr. Barker. The term, if you've ever heard of it, the Devil's Bible, emanates from this story. As you leave the stockroom, you now enter the Great Hall. The Great Hall was built on the site of Abergavenny House. It was purchased in 1606 for the princely sum of £3,500. The hall was destroyed during the Great Fire in 1666 and was rebuilt a few years later. The current hall was modelled in 1800 by the architect Robert Milne. A lot of the works survived the fire thanks to a clerk by the name of George Tokefield, who had managed to remove most of the records to his house in Clerkenwell. As you come out of the hall, you will see a statue paying homage to the great playwright William Shakespeare, who was a regular at Stationers' Hall. As you enter the courtroom, you'll notice three very ornate-looking robes. These belong to the master and the two wardens, the upper and the under. The master is the ambassador for the company. The company today has around about 1,000 members, the vast majority of whom are senior executives in a complete range of trades within the communications and content industries. Today, the company's activities revolve around education and connecting young people with the stationery industries. As you enter the garden, you will notice a huge plane tree in the middle, said to be around 200 years old. It is purported that during Tudor times, the area around the tree was used for book burnings, particularly any books that offended the church. The Roman wall of Londinium runs along the back of Stationers' Hall, and some of the ruins can be seen in the crypt under the garden. The only access to the crypt is through a flagstone by the altar of St. Martin within Ludgate Church. We hope you've enjoyed this video as much as we have creating it, and if you have any suggestions for any hidden gems that we should visit next, please let us know in the comments below. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you on the next video. This is Bassam and Michele from The Culture Dudes. Till next time.